Looking for better hydration at half the price? Try Curel Ultra Healing Lotion. The dermatologist-tested formula contains an advanced ceramide complex and provides 2 times more hydration at half the price. Try Curel.
At Marshall's, our buyers go to great lengths to find you great deals on great quality products. It's great. Everything here is great. We get the deals, you get the good stuff. Marshall's.
Tomorrow on ET, our Snoop Dogg and Tika Sumpter exclusive.
This is going to be an
happening now.
More rain is on the way. I'll have the timeline of that rain for you and a look at how much we've seen so far in just a bit.
Miles of razor wire just like this coiled along the border. Just days after the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government can cut it, the state has added even more. Coming up, why a congressman says he's backing Governor Abbott's decision to let the state use its right to self-defense.
New estimates show that 1 in 8 people who live here in the state of Texas over the age of 65, they are living with Alzheimer's. But there is new medical news. We're going to explain what it means and how it can have early prevention here in our community.
The news at 5 starts now.
And we start with this weather. The rain has been nearly nonstop since Sunday night, and the ground out there, it is saturated.
And it's just gray out there. How about that thunder?
I know, all night long.
Yeah, more rain in the forecast for tonight, but is the end near, Adam?
Yes, the end is near. We're not there quite yet, but the end is within sight. You take a look at authority radar right now, and the activity is starting to pop up again in and around San Antonio, and especially east of town. That's where we've had it most of this afternoon, and some of the highest rainfall accumulations have been east of San Antonio, particularly Gonzales County into Lavaca County as well. This is all light to moderate activity with some embedded downpours. And speaking of embedded downpours, that's what we have moving into the south side and the far north side. We're talking near China Grove to Martinez, southward all the way down to I-37 between 410 and 1604. This activity is moving off to the northeast pretty quickly. We'll be back to time out some of these showers, where they're going to be next, and a look at how much more we can expect later tonight in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Texas will continue to hold the line. That is the message from the Texas Military Department that says it is blocking migrants crossing into the U.S.
On Monday, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the feds could start taking down the razor wire put along the border by the state of Texas. Our Daniela Ibarra is live in Eagle Pass tonight. The razor wire was still there, and Daniela, it goes on for miles in some spots.
Yeah, National Guardsmen continue to add more barriers. They've added fences along the border and more of this razor wire. Now, Governor Abbott, he says this is part of the state defending itself. And this wire, it stretches all down the border. We drove down a good portion of it earlier today. Lots of debris left behind by the migrants. We saw clothes tangled in the wire, empty water bottles, even a little girl's shoe left behind. There's even a spot we saw where it appears like clothes were put on the wire to make it easier for people to climb over it. Now, this wire, it has hurt migrants. The Justice Department says it makes it hard for the government to patrol the border. Even though the Supreme Court gave the feds the okay to cut the wire, the head of U.S. Customs and Border Patrol says there's not a table to get rid of the wire. It's become a battle between the state and the feds. We spoke with Congressman Chip Roy, who says it's a problem, and he says the state is securing the border, something he believes the Biden administration has failed at.
Texas is doing what they should do. The people of Texas are going to respond favorably to anything Texas can do to try to stem the tide.
Now, the county judge says that this razor wire, it sends a strong message. You'll hear what it is coming up at 6. Steve Myra.
Thank you, Daniela. We'll see you then. Well, multiple fires across our city this morning, forcing people from their homes. And in one incident, a man loses his life. That fire happening about 4:30 this morning on San Angelo Boulevard. That's not far from West Avenue. We're told 3 people were inside the home at the time of the fire, but they say 38-year-old Santiago Martinez was not able to get out. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's office releasing his name about an hour ago. Firefighters put out the fire. They discovered Martinez in a back bathroom. They say he was suffering from smoke inhalation, rushed to a hospital, but died. Firefighters say they don't believe there was any foul play, saying it's possible Martinez may have become disoriented, then overcome by the smoke.
About 45 minutes before that fire, a home on the south side caught fire, and that one may have been caused by a lightning strike. A family of 4 was inside the house. They did get out safely. This home is in the 100 block of Klein. That's off of South Flores Street. Firefighters put out the flames pretty quickly, but the family will need another place to stay.
The Red Cross assisting 2 families after another fire damaged their homes. Both of them. Fire officials tell us a fire started in the firewall located between those 2 attached homes this morning on Oldham Drive, and that's not far from Montgomery Drive. Everyone in both homes got out safely. That's good. Firefighters believe an electrical issue may have started that fire. New at 5, a fight between 2 women ended with one being stabbed and killed. The other woman now indicted for her murder. The district attorney announcing today that Whitney Caraway indicted today for the murder of Amanda Newton back in May of last year. Prosecutors say Caraway and Newton were involved with the same man. During a confrontation, a fight broke out. The DA's office says Caraway stabbed Newton 11 times in front of several witnesses. Newton died at the scene. A trial date has not been set yet.
A woman found out her credit card was being taken for a ride after she started getting car payment statements in the mail. The suspect, police say, is responsible for that, has now been arrested and charged. SAPD officers walked 30-year-old Austin Lopez in front of our cameras this afternoon. They say the victim in this case, a 74-year-old woman, went to a dealership to find out why she was receiving those statements. They informed her that her name had been signed on paperwork for Lopez to buy a 2019 Audi, according to investigators. She denied ever signing anything or consenting for anyone to sign her name for use of any personal information. Police got involved and Lopez was identified as the suspect. He's now charged with fraud and exploitation of the elderly.
An ex-Fair Oaks Ranch police officers filed a lawsuit against her former employer claiming they violated the Texas Whistleblower Act when they terminated her last fall. Lacey Gonzalez's firing came months after she filed a 14-page complaint against Police Chief Tim Mooring, accusing him of a wide range of misconduct violations. As KSAT investigates learned, Gonzalez is not alone in those concerns.
It was a toxic culture. Everything you can imagine, you're on edge the entire time. There's more internal stress and external stress. I had a harder time going to the department dealing with those conditions rather than dealing with the conditions that the job brings in itself.
An attorney telling KSAT he's in the process of filing a federal lawsuit on behalf of Gonzalez, her former sergeant, and a third officer who resigned in October, claiming their rights to due process were violated when the department had them added to the Brady list in Comal, Kendall, and Bexar counties. At 6 o'clock, hear from all 3 of those officers.
Happening tomorrow, a job fair for military service members who are entering civilian life. It's taking place from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the San Antonio Shrine Auditorium. That's on North Loop 1604 West. That's out in the Stone Oak area. This job fair is free and open to military active duty service members, veterans, and military spouses and dependents. You do have to register. You can do that at my.recruitmilitary.com. Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery is growing. 43 acres have recently been added. That additional space will allow the cemetery to continue veteran memorial care through at least the next 21 years. Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery is the final resting place for more than 182,000 veterans and their family members.
With former President Donald Trump's latest victory in the New Hampshire primary, he becomes the first non-incumbent Republican candidate in the modern era to win both the Iowa and New Hampshire contests. For Nikki Haley, who says this race is far from over, she now shifts her focus to her home state of South Carolina and its primary next month.
Ivan Rodriguez breaks down the takeaways from the nation's second nominating contest and what we can expect as we move forward.
Receiving more than 54% of the vote in the New Hampshire Republican presidential primary, former President Donald Trump achieved his second consecutive victory. Surrounded by supporters, including some former GOP candidates, he used his speech to send a clear message to former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley. It's time to drop out.
I find in life you can't let people get away with bullshit, okay? You can't. You just can't do that. And when I watched her in the fancy dress that probably wasn't so fancy, come up. I said, what's she doing? We won.
Trump's ability to win in Iowa and New Hampshire, two very different contests, shows the strong hold he has on the Republican Party. Even though the Haley campaign would have liked to see a closer race in New Hampshire, Nikki Haley is vowing to stay in the race and says she's the antidote to a potential Biden-Trump rematch.
Republicans have lost almost every competitive election. Trump is the only Republican in the country who Joe Biden can defeat.
The 2024 New Hampshire Republican primary set a record for the most votes ever cast in the contest, and voters had varying reasons for their choice of candidate.
I'm just not a fan of Donald Trump, and I'm not a huge fan of the current president, Joe Biden. I decided that I wanted a new face in the White House. I love the fact that there's a woman candidate.
I just very strongly feel that Trump should be our president.
As candidates move on to South Carolina, polls show Trump with a huge lead. After a $4 million ad buy in the first ads already running in South Carolina, Haley's team knows the importance of showing up in her home state. I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
It's a medical news now, and a new blood test that screens for Alzheimer's may be one step closer to reality. That test is supposed to alert patients even before symptoms begin to show.
More than 400,000 people in Texas live with Alzheimer's. Max Massey explains how a new study might be able to help.
This past 6-7 months, I mean, it's been hell, I'm not gonna lie. And that's the whole purpose of coming to the support group.
Jim Calhoun is one of the thousands of caretakers across the state helping their loved ones navigate life with Alzheimer's.
I'm not doing as well as I thought that I should be. It wears you down.
Jim's wife Pam was diagnosed back in 2012. Tells me it has not been an easy journey.
Typically, the only way to truly check those is to go in and either have a brain scan or a spinal tap.
But with the prospect of a blood test, early detection could become more accessible.
It's extremely exciting for the future because being able to walk into a doctor's office and get a blood test is so much more simple.
This is just the first step because for now, there's no FDA approval and no widespread use.
Just like how people go in and they take a cholesterol test before having a heart attack, you can get a cholesterol test before having a stroke.
Ginny Funk with the Alzheimer's Association, she tells me new treatments are expected in the coming years, and these treatments, they are targeted at the early stages of the disease.
They were done in clinical tests specifically with people in early stages. That's what they will benefit individuals to be able to either hopefully stop the progression of the disease or extend that early stage of the disease.
And the hope is that these blood tests and the new treatments, they can help families like the Calhouns.
Almost at a point now that she doesn't know who I am. And that's even harder to take.
But for now, Jim is surrounded by support.
As I talk to you guys, I find out that, we're all in the same boat.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Meantime, scientists estimate that 40% of dementia cases are preventable. It's why the Alzheimer's Association of San Antonio in South Texas is urging people to focus on brain health in 2024. On KSAT.com right now, we have a list of the top 10 healthy habits for your brain.
Check out traffic right now. Let's go to I-10. We're looking westbound from UTSA Boulevard towards 1604. And you want to talk about a backup? We have one right here. It is not all that unusual for this area, but I-10 really backed up. The ramps to 1604 are usually where it backs up, but it looks like all of the lanes right now, very slow going westbound I-10.
Straight ahead here at 5, they're supposed to be convenient, but it seems self-checkout lanes may be more frustrating than fast. The downward trend some retailers are noticing. Here's a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Whether it is guns, bullying, or domestic abuse, violence is a top issue for so many San Antonians. The city today unveiled a new strategic plan for violence prevention. So what's in it? And how will we know if it's working?
1 in 2 adults in the U.S. have pre-diabetes, a condition people tend to take a little too lightly. UT Health San Antonio just got a big award to start a clinical trial finding ways to help pre-diabetics. It's a problem in South Texas and San Antonio. All that and more today on the news at 6.
Well, sometimes they can be quick and convenient, but other times self-checkout can be kind of a hassle.
Yeah, it turns out those self-checkouts may be a headache for retailers too. According to a new study, customer loyalty to self-checkout is on a downward trend, partly because people don't want to ring up their own items.
Drexel University researchers say a so-called regular checkout, that's the kind with an employee there to help, makes consumers more likely to return. They say interactions make customers, quote, feel like they were treated valuably. But that's not the only problem that self-checkout lines cause for retailers.
Yeah, the data also says stores are suffering losses in merchandise due to customer scanning errors or deliberate shoplifting. As a result, many retailers are making changes to their self-checkout policies. The research published in the Journal of Business Research. It is frustrating when you get in one of those lines and the scanners aren't working.
Yeah, somebody has to come over and help you. It takes longer sometimes.
You get condensation on the barcode and it doesn't work.
That's such a weather thing to say.
Yeah, that's a very Adam Caskey observation.
I was dead serious, but you should have seen the look on their faces when I said that. I'm like, no, it's a problem. It happens all the time. Anyway, okay, let's talk about our rain chances. Notice how they spike again later this evening. We're up to 60% at 9 o'clock, 70% 10 o'clock through midnight tonight. More showers and even rumbles of thunder. A few thunderstorms are expected with a few more downpours embedded within the flow that we have. And these are some fast moving showers and storms that we have at the moment. You look at the most recent heavy rain. We'll zoom way far in first just to see where the heavy rain is falling. Just passing over Randolph Air Force Base, moving towards Steele High School, Cibolo, Marion. You're within a minute or two of this downpour. Actually, let me time that out for you. There's the downpour, the meat of the downpour. Marion, you're going to have it at 5:21 p.m. So you're just within a few minutes of it. Anyway, that's where a heavy downpour is right now. This is headed off to the northeast, and it looks like it's going to clip some of the southeastern portions of New Braunfels, east of I-35, that portion of town, and then head toward Geronimo as well. So if you're watching us from Geronimo area, let's time this out for you. Geronimo, expect this downpour to arrive at 5:33 p.m. There's a little bit of lightning and thunder with this brief little thunderstorm that has popped up. You see a few of these cloud-to-ground lightning strikes that are shown right here by those white lines. That's some of the cloud-to-ground lightning that we have within this, and likely some cloud-to-cloud lightning as well, but we're just showing you the strikes that actually hit the ground. As for the big view of this, and you want to go to the 3D view, luckily, we don't see much, if any, hail within it. You see some height to the clouds in the thunderstorm here. This is the main part of it. If there's anything, it would maybe be pea-size hail. But right now, hail is not looking like a threat at all with this little storm that just popped up. You can fly right through the heaviest part of it, and there we are, right down to the roadways again. Anyway, so hail right now, not looking like a primary threat with this. Just some brief heavy rain and lightning and thunder to go along with it. These are moving all along very quickly. We're talking 50 to 55 miles per hour. These are tracking. Then we get up near Canyon Lake, and we've got a few more downpours. Already several inches of rain up here since Sunday, and we've got these ones quickly moving through, especially hitting the west side of the lake and Smithson Valley area, getting in on that action. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet, but we're going to see more development. See these little green speckles? Those will be turning into more numerous showers. And really quickly, before I switch off, I want to take a look at the 5-day rainfall totals. We won't get too specific because we're running out of time here, but notice if we look at these numbers, look at where the alleyways of rain has been, the swaths right through Bexar County and San Antonio, and then off to the east, we're talking Gonzales up to Luling, over 7 inches estimated by radar. Coming up at 6, I'll have the rain gauge measurements on top of the drought monitor to see how much rain we've gotten where we need it. Jet stream's right overhead. We've got some embedded disturbances within this jet. That's why I'm watching right out here near Del Rio. That's our next piece of energy that's developing. That's going to move eastward and boost our rain and storm chances this evening. As I talked about, back up to 70% by 10 o'clock. Here's our future cast that's on board with that. Some pockets of heavy rain. Can't rule out some isolated localized hail, but I think flash flooding of the typically flood-prone roadways and areas is our primary threat going forward. And then by 3 a.m., it's out of here. We'll have fog tomorrow morning, so some problems for the commute and residual water, but then some sunshine into the afternoon. We're up to the mid-60s tomorrow. And then Friday, we've got a mixture of sun and clouds, morning fog, 68 this weekend. Cool mornings near 40, but afternoons in the 60s. A 3D look at the hail from last night coming up at 6.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. We have a rookie showdown going on in the Frosty tonight.
Yeah. Wemby and Chet Holmgren from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Of course, Wemby with the Spurs. One of these guys, well, they are the favorites to win NBA Rookie of the Year. And in college basketball, Texas upset the Sooners last night. Coming up.
Like I said, I know Vic's ready. I know he's gonna come ready to play, and so will the rest of the team. So, we're looking forward to a great game tonight.
Keldon and the Spurs are ready to face the first place Thunder on game day. The Spurs held morning shoot-around before tipping off their 7-game homestand tonight with the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is the second of 4 regular season meetings between the two sides. OKC won the first game back in November, 123-87. Now this game will also feature the top guys vying for NBA Rookie of the Year and Thunder big man Chet Holmgren and Spurs star rook Victor Wembanyama.
I feel like Vic showed up for every game. I feel like every game is a big game for Vic. He's just that guy. I feel like whether we play Detroit or whoever, I feel like he's ready to go. He come prepared. And I know he's going to show up tonight, and I know he's going to be ready. So, we're looking forward to a good game, and hopefully we come out on top.
Spurs will host the Thunder tonight. It's a late tip set for 8:30. So the Thunder come to San Antonio as winners of 3 straight after beating the Trailblazers 111-109 last night in OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored a game-high 33 points to go with 10 assists for the Thunder. Center Chet Holmgren scored 8 points in 32 minutes. Thunder guard Jalen Williams was the hero last night, hitting this game-winning 18-footer with 2 seconds left in regulation for the final points of the game. OKC is now tied with Minnesota for best in the West. In men's college basketball, a stretch of 4 straight games against ranked opponents is off to a great start for unranked Texas. Saturday, the Horns beat number 9 Baylor 75-73. And last night, they came back in Norman to beat number 11 Oklahoma 75-60. UT trailed 33-32 at halftime. Then they outscored the Sooners in the second half 43-27 to beat OU by 15 points, which is their second road win of the season.
I like to give kudos to my guys in terms of the effort and how hard they played and worked the game. We didn't play perfect, but we played extremely hard, and we were really connected tonight. And we were fortunate and blessed enough to be able to beat a good team on their home court.
Texas will next play at number 21 BYU Saturday at 1 p.m., followed by a home game Monday night with 4th-ranked Houston.
I had to make sure I heard you right. Oklahoma City's tied for the best record in the West?
Yes, with Minnesota.
Wow.
I know.
Didn't realize they're having that good a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank you, Larry. We'll be right back. Going to take a look at a spot you don't want to be in. You see somebody there on the inside median, the inside shoulder. 281 and 410 is where this camera is located. 2 cars there and a tow truck on the scene trying to clear up what looks like a wreck, a Hero vehicle as well. Traffic going around, very slow going, trying to make sure this doesn't get any more dangerous.
Adam.
An inch of rain at the airport today, 6 inches for the month. Aquifer is up nearly 7 feet since Saturday. We'll talk more about the showers that are popping up at 6.